Cosplay. Definition: the practice of dressing up as a character from a film, book, or video game. But what if there was more to it than that? Let's go behind the costumes, behind the creative, behind the makeup. Within this community, there is a beacon of humanity that shines through. A beating heart of inspiration, freedom, and acceptance. It brings people together with no judgment, no agenda, and no prejudice. You can be whoever you want to be, and not be judged for who you are. Here you will hear the real-life stories of the cosplay community rarely ever heard. As we go behind the makeup. Stephanie.
Hi there, I'm Stephanie Norman and I've been cosplaying for 2 years. Growing up, I wasn't the most popular kid. I did have my fair share of bullying in school. They made me feel isolated, they made me feel like I had no friends. But the good thing that came out of all that was my creativity. I actually did really well in one subject in school, which was my art. Because all the other subjects, either I didn't go to them or I didn't get the highest grades because I didn't feel like I wanted to be there. But with art, I felt comfortable, and in my art classes I learned that all the stuff that was going on in my head, all the stuff that was going on around me, I could just forget about when I was drawing, when I was painting, and I just felt like I could really escape from it if I was drawing. And in that class you did have a few girls that were rude and horrible, but it was the first time in that whole day that I could sit there and ignore it, because I don't really care what they were thinking at that moment. I was just like, all I care about is what I'm doing here. A few years after school I got diagnosed with anxiety and depression. At the time I was scared. Like, when you get diagnosed, it's frightening because you're scared to go there, you're scared what are they going to say. All this time I just think I'm going insane, I don't know what's wrong with me. But once you get a diagnosis, yes, it's hard hitting, it's so hard hitting. What got me through that was creativity and my artwork. And what I found with that was just that I could carry it on outside of school, that was my home and beacon, that was what was keeping me in check, really. That whole escapism that I had. With cosplaying, the first time I really did, like, the big con that I went to was 2015, and I was terrified because there's going to be crowds, everyone's going to be like rushing around, there's going to be grumpy people, rude people, but they weren't, because as soon as I got there, as soon as I put my costume on, walked across a bridge, very cold bridge and scary bridge, I had no idea how lovely and amazing the con was, because everybody straight away was like, oh, you're so and so, or you're part of this. Like, even if they didn't completely get it, it was how lovely they were and approachable. With cosplaying, the first time was when I met my partner Charlie. I met him about 2.5 years ago, and he actually brought me to my first convention in May 2015, where we cosplayed as a cross between Assassin's Creed and DC characters, specifically the Arrow TV show, as the Green Arrow and the Huntress. Not only are me and Charlie cosplayers, but we also help each other through a lot of our lives. Like, we've built a strong relationship that's lasted, like I said, 2.5 years, and he's really helped me embrace my artwork, my creativity, and he's believing in me it just helps me get through everything. I couldn't really imagine my life without him, because he has such a big influence on my life. It was May last year, we sort of ventured out a little bit, because we did Captain Hook and Red Riding Hood from Once Upon a Time. This was quite fun because Charlie hasn't really worn eye makeup before, so I got to put eyeliner and mascara on him, and he wasn't the most patient of students, but it was fun because we were doing something as a couple, and it was something that, I don't know what it was about that cosplay, but it made us feel really coupley. It made us feel really just in love.
Cosplay. You can be whoever you want to be and not be judged for who you are.
A makeshift purebred that's been spoon-fed since on the assembly line.
I continually was gaining weight and was feeling more and more self-conscious about it. People started making nasty comments, not in person so much, but if a photo of me was shared online, you would get some people saying unnecessary comments.